questions to ask and whatnot. And in my research, I did discover a Tumblr page. And out of the many Tumblr pages, and we're keeping this clean, out of the many Tumblr pages, there was from I Heart Phelps, How to Tell James and Oliver Apart. Are you aware of this page? Have you stumbled on these pages?
No. Funny enough, no.
Well, they have lots of suggestions. But instead of reading what they wrote, which is quite humorous, instead, why don't you tell the audience, they already can tell you apart, but how do you typically describe yourselves as far as how to tell you apart?
You're nice.
Obviously I'm the better looking one.
Nobody agrees with
Nobody
you.
agrees. Well, Oliver's slightly taller than me, only slightly, and he has 2 moles exhibited. Yeah. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Anything you want to add to that as far as tell James apart from you?
I'm a little thinner, I suppose.
That's about it, yeah? Alright, so there you go. I Heart Phelps, the Tumblr page. There's another description for you. Let's jump to the audience. Hi, how are you? What's your question?
Well, my question is, I know I have a sibling, so I was wondering how difficult it was to always be together, like, on this set, and not, like...
It was a great day when I only had one day on my own. It became normality, to be able to film with each other so often because we didn't come from an acting background to begin with. It was really good to be able to have my brother there. You've got a friend. A bit of straight up back, didn't you? It was a bit like when you go on vacation with your sibling and you need someone, and you always want someone to play with. It's a bit like that, only you're making a huge film. And yeah, we just always had some good times together, and it was good to be able to practice scenes as well before we were on set. So that was always a benefit of doing that.
Thank you. And slipping back into the roles for Universal theme parks, you went and filmed twice, right? For Diagon Alley and the first one, Hogsmeade, yeah. So was it easy enough to slip back? I've been to both multiple times, I know it. It's just I have brain farts. Been doing this all weekend. But was it difficult slipping back into the roles, into the robes, and filming together for that?
It was the last one, the first one in Hogsmeade we were still shooting the final, I think it was the final movie, so that was still ongoing, but for the newest one, Diagon Alley, we hadn't been those characters for a long time, and spoiler alert, I never thought I would play that character again regardless of whatever happens in the future. It was surreal because I didn't ever expect to be back playing that character, but to be given the opportunity to do it again, it was great. I did it in one take, which is a few more than but yeah, it was really, really great fun, and a lot of people this weekend who have been to there, they said that they really enjoyed that part of the attraction. So.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, I agree. It was, as James said, it was the weirdest thing for us was actually, it was a whole year after we finished filming when we went back to do the stuff for the theme park, which was quite nice actually to film in the new studios. Because when we were doing our last scene, the bulldozers were actually waiting outside to tear the studio down. It wasn't that sad, the studio was. So to be able to do this brand new, fantastic studio was quite cool, on the same soundstage, site, where we filmed our last scene, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, although it would have been funny for Diagon Alley if, although a little bit bleak, if they said, James, look, we don't need you to come back. We're just sticking with Oliver for this one. Hi there.
Hi. So obviously Harry Potter is a huge fandom, and coming to Comic-Con, you get all kinds of things that people are just crazy about. I fall under Harry Potter, Doctor Who, and a few other things. I was wondering what gets you guys, whether it's sports, music, or if you're into any sort of series or movies, or what you geek out over.
For me, it's sports on a huge scale. There seems to be always some type of sport on back home at my house. So that's always quite cool. And also, I quite like watching, just started picking up on random series, on like on-demand stuff. So I know there's a documentary type thing, there's a show called The Jinx, which is quite a weird like thing. So it got quite creepy. So not necessarily going, okay, that's on, I need to watch that now, but I kind of just watch a whole block of stuff. Yeah, it's been quite cool to do that.
I'd say sports again, like Oliver, and music as well. I'm a big concert goer and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's something I've started to geek out over.
Thank you.
My question is, if you could spend one day with any character from the Harry Potter series, who would it be and what would you do?
Sometimes you get questions you've asked before, so you've got an answer in your head. Character from the film, what to do?
You could just shift it up and say Voldemort and join his team. Like.
I would get fluffy, and I would wait for those annoying people that come to your door. Are you interested in double glazed windows? Like, fluffy, come.
I would.
Oliver, come. That's what I would.
Yeah, we do actually. I would like to have Creature for the day and ask him to help me tidy my house. And just listen to him moaning the whole time.
You two know.
We can get our own house.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, thank you for coming, by the way. So I was looking at the internet, trying to see which of you played which character, and maybe I was looking in the right place, but it just said that they both played the, Fred and George, and they didn't specify who was who. So did you guys switch off in the series?
No, you didn't look very hard. No, I always played George, and James always played Fred. There was, the thing we've learned is not everything on the internet is true. We've seen these huge big pictures, and there's a load of text underneath. And one time it said that we swapped roles on one of the films, and they found out they had to reshoot the whole movie. When you're identical twins and you dress the same, you can get away with it sometimes. They didn't need to redo the whole film, luckily.
With fan excitement, with people meeting you, is that accompanied by a little bit of disappointment that you don't have red hair? Does that come up a lot?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I've been told I lied to someone their whole life. And their whole childhood is a lie. I really such a killer blow when I said, well, we didn't actually fly in college either. But they were fine with that, but the hair.
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys had the chance to play any other character in the Harry Potter franchise, who would you be?
George.
And I would also.
I think, although he wasn't in the final films, but Peeves, certainly reading the books, he was such a cool character. So I don't know what you want to do.
Thank you.
Hello there.
Hello. Yeah, what did you guys enjoy the most in Minnesota this past weekend?
I'm not just saying this, but the people. I don't know because everyone has just been so friendly, not just here at the con, well, especially here, but also like yesterday Oliver and I were trying to find somewhere which was showing the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, and like this, and this guy said, what are you after? And explained to him, he said, well, come down here, look, it's down, and points in this direction and shows where he needs to go, and he didn't need to do that, but he was very, very friendly, so I'd say the people here have been very, very memorable.
It's quite cool to come, like, 'cause we never actually, I had a layover here quite a long time, about 5 years ago. And it was like the flight was in January, the flight was delayed for hours and hours and hours. And I didn't know what was going on, apparently they just said on the news there was some well, the weather just said it was a really bad storm. And I sat in the airport getting more and more annoyed. Can't be that bad. And the next day when the stadium roof collapsed. So my one time of being in Minnesota area before was that, so thankfully it's a lot nicer now. And we were, a cool thing, we went to the baseball the other night, and the stadium there was absolutely fantastic. So it was a different type of night out, but it was really cool.
Thank you. It's all right.
If you could spend the day with JFK or President Lincoln, what would you do and what day would it be on?
Okay. I would spend the day with President Lincoln, and I'd ask him about his. I'd go with him on a day when he was getting his hats made up. Just to see how that process is like. Your turn.
I have no answer. Let me get back to you on that.
Yeah. Just wanted to say, these are the moments where my job is then suddenly necessary. Where did you come up with that question, by the way?
In my head.
Well done. we'll get back to you on the other one. All right. Thank you.
So I know you said you weren't really from an acting background and you were like pretty young when it started. So are there any things that really have like stuck with you from your roles, or do you have any moments where you're like, oh, that was a bit George of me, or anything like that?
Well, to be honest with you, when we first started filming, definitely the first two and a half movies, I was a very shy kid. Incredible. This would freak me out right now. And I was very, just quiet, I guess. And playing the parts of Fred and George, you kind of have to be a bit more outgoing. You kind of, Fred and George were like, So I started doing and then obviously you played that, and then I thought, well, I quite enjoyed that, I'm gonna do it. And then I ended up becoming a lot more outgoing in general. So I guess the character rubbed off on me on that way. And also I learned that doing practical jokes are very funny. But you've got to agree with yourself that if you're going to do a practical joke, you've then got to accept it when one gets done on you. That's the universal rule. So, but yeah, I'd say that's what rubbed off on me from the character.